Hey everybody, what's going on? Rob Cesternino back here with some bonus coverage here during BB26, and this is very fun. I had the chance to bring in an old friend of mine who happens to be the founder and the head of the Proto company, which has outfitted the Big Brother house with a very fancy hologram machine. Here with us, David. David, how are you?
Wow, this is great. I'm a big fan of the show. Obviously, you and I are friends.
David Nussbaum. I'm so excited to have you back. That I think I just introduced you first name only.
David Nussbaum. I am a super Rob Cesternino fan, and your family. I love you and miss you guys. And I knew I had to do something like invent a hologram technology,
yes,
bring it to the world of Big Brother, just so you will invite me onto your show so we can hang out again. So that's what I had to do.
Have you had a previous RHAP appearance?
Yes.
You came to my house, right?
Yes. The first time we ever met, I think Johnny Fairplay, was it Johnny who introduced us?
I think so, yes.
Johnny, so, and I looked this up. It was 14 years ago.
Yes.
It's 2010 or 2011. You were living in like Valley Village or something.
Sherman Oaks. Yeah.
Sherman Oaks. Okay, sorry. Sherman Oaks.
Yeah.
For all of those who if you don't know, Sherman Oaks is Valley Village. It's Sherman Oaks. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I came over. Johnny Fairplay set us up. Said,
what did we talk about? Survivor?
We talked about Lost.
Oh, okay.
Lost.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Now on Netflix. Still relevant.
Yeah. It is. I would like to rewatch it. I've had some friends rewatch it, and they, knowing now what they would have liked to have known in the first, few seasons, it can be very helpful. I think I saw somewhere on social media somebody ended up putting Lost in an actual timeline.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, we could talk about that, but we got to talk about these holograms, okay? Yeah. So you are single-handedly responsible for unleashing Ainsley on the Big Brother 26 contestants?
I have to give...
Will you own that?
I will own the fact that I bugged the producers of Big Brother for 20 years.
Yes.
Either trying to get on the show, trying to participate in some way, collaborate, and eventually I got a phone call this year saying, if you promise never to call us up and bother us again.
Okay, but be serious. Okay, so could you tell us like sort of like the chicken or the egg of in terms of like, okay, so BB26, they're coming up with a theme. They have an AI theme. Do they reach out to you as sort of like being, they've seen the Protohologram and they say, we want this?
Proto sold our technology to Big Boss, which is Big Brother India. And so on Big Boss last year, they did a whole thing. And so I was like, oh my God.
How was Big Boss? Should we get coverage on Rob as a podcast?
It's not as good as Big Brother, but it's Big Brother India. I couldn't really understand much of it, but same gameplay. It's Big Brother India. So it's just in a different language, but contestants and challenges and stuff like that. So I sent that clip to the fly on the wall folks, and I got a call. I got a call probably 4 or 5 months before Big Brother started this year, and I was given some general idea of what the twist might be, and is this something that we can could collaborate on? And I said, wow, that is, first of all, great twist. Thank goodness this is, and yes, absolutely. So I didn't come up with this idea. I just kept pitching, let's beam Julie into the house.
Yeah. You are a longtime Big Brother fan. If I recall that you've interviewed Big Brother contestants from way back when. So this is like a dream come true for you.
I auditioned, I think, 5 years in a row to be on Big Brother. Right, that's what you did. You auditioned for Big Brother, and then
that's right. That's my backstory. Yes.
Yeah, so I wanted to be on Big Brother. I auditioned like seasons like 10, 11, 12, like the Matt Hoffmans and the Reagans and like those years.
They took your spot. Yeah,
they took my spot. Ian that was my final season. I couldn't take it after Ian when I said I'm no longer auditioning for this show.
Yes. Okay. So you said, okay, well, now I'm going to come up with some way to torment the Big Brother house guests with my hologram technology.
I thought, look, instead of Julie communicating to the house guests on a closed circuit TV set, the Big Brother house is the ultimate house. It's the ultimate like location, right? So I thought, wouldn't it be cool? Like as technology continues to evolve, we've got to put a holographic window, a portal into the Big Brother house, and house guest families could beam in. Julie Chen could beam in. I thought that would be great. They had a much better idea, and that's what we're kind of doing this season.
Okay.
AI.
So so many questions about like what's happened and where this is all going. So they had like a whole like list of things that they wanted to do with the twist, and they come to you and they say, can we execute these things, or are you like, hey, did you know you could do this? Do you know you could do this? And are you feeding them ideas on what to do?
I do. So I typically demonstrate what our hologram technology can do. I show off our AI. I show off museum pieces. I show off people. I could beam Howie Mandel into this thing right now if I wanted. And I show off all of the technology. I show what it looks like on TV and how interactive it can be. And then they come up with all of the ideas. Okay.
Now, can you tell us that your technology that has been with the house, it's been very much tied into deep fakes in terms of we can take any person, put them in there, and make them say anything. Now, is that something that that you want? We can get Howie Mandel and get him to talk about how great Rob as a podcast is right now, or is that something that's totally different than what people should expect from a hologram?
So when it comes to AI, that is one of the things that we do. I can take you, Rob, I can scan you, 2 minutes of scanning time. Literally, you can stand in front of a camera for 2 minutes, talk about anything you want, and then your AI is then created. And
then you can make me say anything that you want.
Well, yes and no. I mean,
yes.
you own your own avatar. So you would have complete control over anything that your avatar would say. I don't have permission to just type in anything or say anything into your avatar and it spit out what I say. But yes, I mean, you would have control over what your avatar says.
Okay.
And so let's say you're doing a TED Talk, or let's say you're doing a convention and you don't have time to be there. You can't beam in because you're busy doing something else. Your avatar, you can type in a whole paragraph. Your book, the Rob Has a Podcast book, comes out and you could drop the whole text into it, and then your avatar can now do a book tour and read it. And by the way, in any language, in your voice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. So David, now where are you? You're not in the Big Brother house, are you?
No, I'm in my showroom in Van Nuys. So I've got hologram Paris Hilton over in our Big Brother kind of studio wall here.
Allegedly, some of these other house guests knew Paris Hilton. Is that how they got on the show? You brought them in to see Paris Hilton, and she was like, "Hey, have you met my personal chef?"
No, I've seen that though. I've heard of all of these things. Yeah, lots of as the season goes on, people continue to find out more and more pre-Big Brother stuff about some of the contestants. I think it's all very interesting, but coincidental,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So can you talk about the idea for Ainsley? Did you design Ainsley?
We use a company sometimes called Code Baby. And Code Baby is like a remarkable AI avatar. No, well, they're an avatar company. So they create avatars of non-photorealistic, like animation avatars for websites and commercials, and they do a lot of work like that. Protohologram takes some of their work and protofies it and makes it look like they're physically in the room. So we kind of bring them to life. Yes. In a way. And so I did not create Ainsley. That was the Big Brother producers. I guess they storyboarded it out. I don't know. They did all of that. I just offer the holographic technology that brings her to life.
Okay. David,
Yeah.
could you tell us, did you have a conversation about what was going to happen if the house guests voted Ainsley into the house? Was there a contingency plan for that?
I don't know the answer to that because I think, well, of course there probably was. I don't know what I'm. There's always a contingency plan, right? So reality television is very interesting in the sense that, well, had she been voted into the house, then there would be really no reason to come up with this other scenario. She would have just been voted into the house. So I mean, so either way, she was getting voted into the house.
Okay, so. Yeah. Did you have anything with the actual actress who played Ainsley?
No, I don't know. I didn't know anything about the actress.
Okay.
Who played Ainsley.
Okay. Now, did you get to work with Tucker when he was the AI instigator? Were you getting like messages from Tucker of like, all right, Nuzzy, here's what I want to do.
So no,
check this one out.
No, he, from my understanding, Tucker gave, he was able to puppeteer these AI avatars. I personally has zero communication with any of the house guests. This is everything flowed through the producers at Big Brother.
So you get a message from the producers of Big Brother, and they're like, "Hey, Tucker wants to pose as Rubina and or pose as Quinn, blowing up his relationship with Rubina." And you were like, wait, he's trying to throw his girlfriend under the bus?
I have no opinion. But however,
this is not what this technology was invented for.
Right. So it is very, yes, I saw the messages. It is dropped into the software.
Yes.
And the hologram produces the content that you see. So that's what I did. I created the holographic display. The AI avatars create themselves. Essentially, you take the words, whatever it is that you want your AI to say, and it spits out the proper message.
Yeah. Could you, as a reward for Quinn, would it be possible that you could get a holographic Leah to reciprocate his feelings for her? Like, could that be a reward he would win where he's like, hey, Leah, you're sick nasty. And she's like, you're sick nasty too, Quinn.
Right. Yeah. You'd have to talk to our producer friends over at Big Brother. Again,
you could do it.
I could not do that. No, because first of all, even if I did want to do that, it's not something that I have no control over what goes on the air. I am merely a technology liaison.
Yes.
And I have nothing to do with the actual gameplay. I don't write the bits, although I have offered some suggestions that, obviously I am not a writer on Big Brother for a reason. The stuff that they're coming up with is far beyond anything that I could have ever thought of. But no, I mean, I think they're coming up with some very, very clever concepts.
Yeah.
And I love that they're showing off the technology in a way. I like that they're using our Helix statue. I like that. I like that because it's very volumetric. It makes it look it looks very sophisticated in the house. I like that there's a cartoon, kind of an animation of Ainsley. I like that the real people are making their way into the house. Even Matt made his way back into the house.
I love that. That was my favorite. So then, David, what are you hoping happens because of Proto's involvement with Big Brother? Are you hoping that this just raises awareness of what's possible, or are you hoping that people ultimately, would you like to see everybody has sort of like this type of setup at their house?
So Two things. I it's more of a vanity for me. I'm just a big fan of the show, and so I was pretty aggressive about wanting to get our technology on the show, and very grateful and honored that they chose to put the technology on their show. So for me, that's all I've ever wanted. But aside from Big Brother, that's not my business is not reality television. My business is not putting technology on television shows. We're like a legitimate like enterprise and retail. Like we're replacing a lot of flat 2D screens in malls and airports and casinos with volumetric holographic displays. We are going to some people's houses, but mostly being used in large company innovation centers, airports.
Yeah.
We're in 50 universities. Rob Sesternino, did you know we're in 50 universities beaming teachers into give lectures from around the world? So this is really, it's you know what this is? This is podcasting in 20 years, in 10 years from now. This is, instead of talking into a microphone and hearing your voice come out on a speaker, or
nobody's going to invite me into their house to be doing this this old tired song and dance.
I disagree with the Matrix, right? I think that taught us, I think that was a glimpse into the future. How can we get very realistic, lifelike projections of our loved ones, teachers, entertainers, whoever, podcasters, and personalities into our homes? I can see a future where you're beaming onto coffee tables all over the world.
Yes. David, I don't know how tapped in you are on the live feeds, but there were some stories about what was going on in the Matrix that I don't even, I'll tell you offline.
Oh, no, really? Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yes.
Really?
This guy, Joseph, he's a piece of work. Something else.
I'm sure he is. I don't know anything about that.
Okay. Good. So in some ways, it was an incredible endorsement.
Oh, good. Well, that's good. So because it's so real, so realistic.
Very, yeah.
Yes.
So then that I feel like we're recording this on Thursday. I'm feeling like, okay, we're sort of like maybe reaching a point where we've seen everything that there is to have happened on BB26 with hologram and the Ainsley technology. Is that maybe not the case?
Well, I would say expect the unexpected. I think is probably the best way to put it. I certainly couldn't talk about anything that may or may not be happening in the future, but the Proto's in the house, so they should use it for something.
David, do you think that they will continue to use the Proto in future seasons beyond this AI themed season?
I would hope so. Zingbot comes back once a year.
Yeah.
And I think they like to bring back, I mean, I would love it if they did, but I also get that this is a bit of a theme and not sure that it makes sense for future seasons, but I would love it. I would absolutely love it.
So I feel like that they've done so much in the past on Big Brother where like former house guests come in and like host a competition. And this seems like a great way to be able to facilitate this without there being like a ton of maybe like, oh, I'm worried that, if we bring back so-and-so from last season, they're going to accidentally slip up and say something that they shouldn't. Wouldn't you think that they could use this for more things even?
Yeah. Well, the way they're using it is perfect. Although
naturally,
natural. So yes. So they're doing everything perfectly. However, outside of Big Brother, it can be used to beam people anywhere, anytime.
Yes.
Right? So anybody can beam anywhere. It could be so outside of the Big Brother house, Proto technology is being used to beam people all over the world live. Okay. And the camera that's above the person beaming in, you know what I'll do? I'll put Howie in here for now. So the person who's beaming in, let's see here, Howie Mandel. So the person who's beaming in can see and hear and interact with their global audience in real time. So
this is like a street Howie. Look at him.
Yeah. Oh, this is how he shows up because he's here. He's actually here right now. But he shows up. He's very comfortable. He wears here. Look, look at this one. Look at this version of him. You think that's Street Howie? Look at this guy. Look at that outfit.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
No,
what he comes to your office, and that's what he is
I'm
dressed
in
like?
I met Howie on the internet a little over 2 years ago. We met on Instagram. So a little over 2 years ago is the end of a very long day at Proto, where my old office. And I go on Instagram. I just start scrolling through my feed, and I'm looking at my God, look at all the comments I'm having. I'm like, wait, why is every comment from Howie Mandel? That's strange.
Yes.
So one of the comments says, check your DMs. And in the DMs was his phone number. It says, call me. You have some pretty incredible technology. And so I called him. I came over here. This place was just an empty warehouse. He has this production building in Van Nuys. And I came over here, and we became friends. I moved in. He's invested in the company, and he's become a great kind of creative advisor, and he's wonderful. He introduced us to Kris Jenner and Kimmel, and we've gotten a lot of work because of him. But I'm in his. He owns this building, and he is my landlord.
Landlord, right? Yeah. Okay, so I mean, they could use this on Dondi on Deal or No Deal Island.
He pitched it. He did not want to go to. He did not want to go to Panama. So they
got him there.
Just beam me there. Yeah, they got him there. But anyway, so the camera that's above his head, this camera right here, sees the audience that he's being beamed in front of. So he's having a bit of a zoom on his side. He's basically doing what we're doing, except on the receiving side, you see him like he's actually physically.
So if you're going to like beam somebody in live, do they need to be standing in front of is it like any sort of like special camera, or do they need to like be at your office?
No, they could be anywhere. You could use an iPhone, or any 4K camera captures the person, and it sends the feed to
which is a regular phone.
Any camera, any phone. Yeah, an iPhone 13 or better works really well. And any camera. So I can beam you or anybody anywhere. And it's great. And they haven't used this on Big Brother, but you can also change the language. So you can be speaking English here, but in the Big Brother house, it can change the words that you're saying from English into Italian or Japanese. And it's your voice. It's really wild. Like I have an AI. I have one of me. You know what? I have one of me speaks 140 languages. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Here's my AI. I'll just put it on in the background.
What are you wearing? Let's see.
Let's see what I'm wearing in my AI. All right, let's see here. Yeah. So loading.
Okay.
Oh, there I am.
All right, there you are. Okay, you got a blazer.
Look, I'm wearing the same T-shirt. That's good.
And what language are you speaking?
I speak English when you speak English to me, but if you spoke French to me, I respond in French. It's great. And I know every question, I know every answer. And it's got a lot of information. Like it's me, like it's got my information. So you can ask me about where did you meet your wife? Tell me about your work. Like really, literally, it answers it as if it's me.
So there's an artificial intelligence also element to this.
Yes. So this is for real AI. Like what they're using on Big Brother is obviously not real AI. It's BB.
What?
Oh, come on. It's BB AI. Although there is a bit of AI. I mean, the AI that they're using it's we've scanned the people, but it's not really like communicating. Ainsley's not communicating. It's BB AI. It's all very, very regulated through the producers, and it's quite fascinating how they're using it. But no, my AI, like it's very open. Like I've opened it up so you don't know what I'm gonna say. It's really, really wild stuff.
Can you have a conversation? You could have a conversation with yourself.
I can have a conversation with myself. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You can ask. I don't even have to be here. You can ask my AI any question, and we'll see how it answers it. Like it's. Do you want to do that or?
Okay. Well, I got to think of what to ask him. I don't want to ask him
I'll take my.
what's going to happen. What's going to happen next on Big Brother?
Yeah, he won't know that. But I mean, he's not like a.
Yeah.
You know,
okay. All right. I got a question for.
Okay. Well,
so, how do I address your hologram? Okay. Hold on. It's good. That Nuzzy is taking off his headphones. Okay. Here he is. Oh, it's very lifelike. Okay. Here he is. Okay. Oh, but I can't hear you anymore.
I've made myself 2 inches taller and 10 pounds lighter because you can when you're a hologram.
Perfect. Yes.
All right. So you want to ask me a question?
Okay.
All right. Wait. Oh wait. You know what? I got to turn the volume up on this thing.
Okay.
All right.
This is rather incredible. Okay.
David Nussbaum's journey in the holographic technology realm and his remarkable achievements. Right. Let's delve into the world of Protohologram and the captivating stories behind his innovative endeavors.
Okay.
Yes. David, can you tell me how the Protohologram could be used on Survivor?
Certainly. Bringing Protohologram technology to a show like Survivor could revolutionize the viewing experience. Imagine contestants beamed in live from their remote locations to discuss challenges, strategies, and tribal councils in real time. This immersive integration could enhance audience engagement and truly transport viewers into the heart of the competition. The possibilities are endless with holographic communications.
It's pretty good. David, can a hologram watch my kids so I can do other stuff?
Technology in various contexts always sparks excitement. If you have more questions or want to uncover more about Protohologram,
he's got a mind of its own.
Yeah.
Feel free to ask.
He's not as good as the real David.
All right, go ahead. So, can he watch your children?
David, can I use a Protohologram of myself to watch my children?
Okay, that's a very good question. Let's find out what he has to say.
It's essential to make sure the kiddos are well taken care of. While David Nussbaum is a visionary leader in holographic technology, he is a dedicated family man who enjoys spending quality time with his children, fostering creativity, and sharing joyful moments with them.
Yeah.
Their family dynamics are filled with laughter, love, and a sprinkle of magic from the holographic world David immerses himself in.
Hey, David, tell me as much as you know about Rob Cesternino from Survivor.
Keep it cute.
Rob Cesternino, a legendary Survivor contestant turned podcasting dynamo, has left an indelible mark on reality TV fandom. Rob's strategic gameplay and witty commentary on his podcast, Rob Has a Podcast, have garnered a devoted following across the Survivor community. His insightful analyses, engaging interviews, and infectious enthusiasm showcase his enduring passion for the game and the world of entertainment.
Now, tell me
the nicest thing anybody's ever said to me.
Tell me your favorite moment in Survivor, but tell it to me in Japanese.
私のお気に入りの Survivor の瞬間はプレイヤーたちが協力して壮大なチャレンジに挑む時です。困難を乗り越え、盤を深める子に感動します。Survivor は勇気とチームワークが光る素晴らしいショーです。
All right, cool. There you go.
What did he say when Banu said that he was going to get 1 million hearts?
Isn't that something?
That was amazing. That was really amazing. Incredible. Yeah. Dude, how did you ultimately get going in this business? Because as somebody who has been connected with you for all these years on Facebook, I see like all these different things that you've done and like all these news shows that you appear on. But how did you go from a guy who was a podcaster to working in this emerging technology?
Well, before I was a podcaster, I used to work for some traditional terrestrial radio stations, CBS Broadcasting, and a number of other independent radio stations. I always wanted to be a radio guy. I always wanted to be on the air, but every radio station that I applied for a job at, they stuck me in the sales department.
Mm-hmm.
So when I discovered podcasting in like 2007, 2008, and I started my first podcast, I got to take control over my life. This is all I ever wanted to do, was broadcast. On my podcast, Decently Funny, which doesn't exist any longer. My podcast, I interviewed you. I interviewed a bunch of celebrities and reality stars. I met my wife on my old podcast because she was on a show and I was a fan of hers. But also on my podcast, I met a guy who knew of some random, rarely used patents that were later famously used to put Tupac on stage at Coachella.
Yes.
And so I co-founded an entertainment company in 2011 that brought dead people back to posthumously perform. And so for like 5 or 6 years, we were just acquiring all of these rights of all of these late legends. And one by one, we were bringing them back to life so they could perform in front of. It was just bananas. Like some of the people that we were acquiring rights to. That was acquiring the rights was more fun than actually bringing them back to life. That was the hard part.
Mm-hmm. Why was that?
Well, because
why was acquiring the rights the fun part?
Oh, because because that was sort of the dreaming part. I'm a dreamer. I like to dream. Like I'm a what if guy. Like, what if we did this? What if we did? But like when you physically do it, then that's doing it. Like I like the idea of something. And so like, creating a company that didn't exist, and then not just a company that didn't exist, but like a brand new industry. Like we're going to bring people back to life, and we're going to like nobody had ever done that before. And so reaching out to Michael Kaufman, Andy Kaufman's brother.
Okay.
And say, I would love to bring back Andy Kaufman. And wouldn't it be great if we did something like, or Red Fox. I worked with the Red Fox estate, and I worked with the Whitney Houston estate, and I worked with like all these people. And it's so great because you're in charge now of expanding beyond where their life finished and where their legacy may continue. Tupac at Coachella is a perfect example of that.
Mm-hmm.
Most people know of the Tupac. Like when you say, have you ever seen a Tupac performance? A lot of people that I ask refer to the Tupac hologram at Coachella, which Tupac actually never did. He was gone 10 years when that
allegedly
happened.
Yeah.
So long story short, at this point, as a passionate lover of broadcasting, and yet still now I know how to do holograms. I thought, what if instead of bringing back the dead, I used my holographic technology to connect the living? And so I started Proto in my living room in 2018. And I just wanted to beam people places. That was, for me, it was just, instead of talking into a microphone and hearing your voice come out of a speaker, I thought, what if I broadcasted Rob somewhere? Like, what if I could literally beam you, beam your presence instead of just your voice or your face?
So that's so interesting. So 2018, you're developing a technology to connect people around the world. Okay. Little do you know, a global pandemic is around the corner. How did COVID ultimately change the future of your business?
Well, I had several $1 million in business canceled, right? Because I had a lot of business piled up that was going to happen in 2020. A lot of conventions, a lot of trade shows, a lot of live events, and as we all know, that entire business globally went away. And I said, I am going to lose my business. And I was all in. I was going to lose my whole livelihood was tied up in this. So I raised money. I did what entrepreneurs do. I raised a bunch of money. I took my idea and I went on a roadshow of fundraising, equity in my company in exchange for millions of dollars. And I started raising money. So I raised about $3 million as my seed round. Tim Draper, who's famously invested in SpaceX and Tesla, and he's like a big kind of communications and hardware machine guy. He's really into future technology, and I beamed him. I beamed him from one side of the room to the other, and he saw himself for the first time in a way that, you know, you see yourself in a mirror, and sometimes you see yourself like in a screen on Zoom, but he saw himself like it was his digital doppelganger staring back at him from the other side of the room. And he said, all right, I'm going to send you a term sheet. So I started raising money. So I took the time off from actually like doing work and like business and like setting up our technology in places to do things. And I started raising money. Now we've raised some money. We've raised a bunch of money since then. And we also have generated revenue beyond the amount that we've raised.
Yeah, it's really incredible. David, my last question for you is that how do you think people's lives are going to be different 5 years, 10 years down the road because of this technology that they may not even realize yet today?
It really depends on the person. I can talk, one of the reasons why I started this is because I've got older parents. My parents are both in their 80s. They live in New Jersey. I have 3 kids under 10. At the time when I started Proto, I had a 4 and a 5-year-old daughter. And I thought in Los Angeles, and we were communicating on our phones and on Zoom. And my 4-year-old's like, I don't get is that a person in there? Like, how do I fall in love with this person? So I thought, wouldn't it be cool if we could beam into each other's homes? So that's where I think we're going to be in 5 years from now. Companies like AARP are investing in Proto because they think Proto technology in senior living facilities and in retirement communities, this is a way of keeping people alive longer and combating loneliness. It's kind of sad what happens to people of a certain age. Sometimes we forget about them. We put them in and so now with AI, they always have a companion, or by beaming people in live, little Timmy, right? Or even therapists and doctors, you no longer need to only have the doctors and the specialists in your area. You could beam in the greatest minds from around the world into wherever you are, even to some of the most rural locations. Mm-hmm. So I think it just kind of flattens the earth a little bit. I think it makes it easier to communicate. And eventually I think Proto technology in a matrix size will find their ways onto our kitchen counters as a kind of a smart home device, kind of helping you through your life.
But think of poor Joseph, who was all alone for 24 hours, and then Matt got beamed in to keep him company.
Yeah, have you spoken to Matt about this? Are you?
No, I have not spoken to Matt about it, but I had seen on his TikTok that he didn't even know that it was happening. He was as surprised as anybody.
Oh, is that right? Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. Anything else that you want people to know about all this?
That I am excited for the future. I'm a huge lover of technology. You know, as a kid, big fan of all the science fiction TV shows and movies. And even as an adult, I mean, I loved watching Silicon Valley. And all these really wild, Black Mirror. So the things that we're seeing in TV and movies, why not me? I'd like to kind of bring this into not just being something that you see on TV. I'd like this to be something that actually helps us and benefits our life in a realistic way.
Okay. Seems like it's definitely going in that direction, David. Where can people check out more about what you're doing over at Proto?
At Protohologram on everything, and that's on all the social medias. And I do TikTok lives 2 or 3 times a week. I try to engage quite often. Yesterday I did a TikTok live, and I just talked to myself for an hour, and I opened it up to the audience. I said, "Ask me anything." AMA, and some of the questions were not. Pretty rude people out there, but
rude people.
My AI will answer all questions in the most sophisticated way possible.
All right. Well, David, thank you so much for taking some time to talk to us. It's been very fun to see what you've been up to here on Big Brother, and congratulations on all your success. You've accomplished so much in between podcast appearances.
Thank you, Rob. I'm proud of you as well, because you and I, we kind of started out together in podcasting, and And so you've got to be, how long are you doing this? Like 12, 13, 15, no, you do probably 15 years now, right?
Yeah, I mean, 15 years since I started up the podcast, and 14 years of starting Rob as a podcast. So yeah, but just day by day. But look, I'm not changing the world.
Well, no, you kind of are though, because this is how many people have been inspired by you, that maybe they've gone on and started a podcast, and maybe their podcast is about healthcare, or maybe their podcast
At least Johnny
is about...
Fairplay.
So I don't know about that. I think a lot of people, like Fairplay was inspired by your gameplay on Survivor, but I think that people are also inspired by what you do on Rob Has a Podcast.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. This was super fun to check out what David is up to. Again, it really amazing. My mind is blown, and so can't wait to see where this all goes next. Thank you so much for joining us. Of course, we've got coverage of a AI. Do you have anything to do with the AI arena?
I have nothing to do. So I mean, we have a Proto display at the AI arena, right?
Yeah.
So they have a couple of our units there. So other than just providing this incredible
emotional support,
this technology and emotional support, they say, hey, can we do this? I go, yes, we could do this. So that's how I provide assistance. I say, yes, we can do this. And then I say to my amazing engineers, I go, how do we do this? And then they figure it out. So
all right, thank you so much for joining us. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.